Kalispera. Officially, it's good afternoon in Athens, and we're going to start our afternoon program of the first day of the Global Innovation Summit. Some of you know I'm an aficionado of felines, but I'm not going to be the herder of cats, so someone needs to go out and bring in everybody who's still enjoying their coffee, because we're going to get started, and we have a very exciting program. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us from the GFCC community around the world, every continent in the world being represented with us. We had a fantastic opening ceremony and launch of the Global Innovation Summit 2022 this morning at the Academy of Athens. And I know that all of us, again, coming from around the world, were just absolutely inspired by the beauty and the symbolism, but just the spiritual aura of being in that place of knowledge, of science, of history, and all the wisdom and creation that shaped our civilization. And we were, of course, very honored to have the mayor of Athens with us, Kostas Bokayanis, and as many of you know, we will be received at his official City of Athens Hall tomorrow afternoon. And of course, a fantastic speech on the Greek economy and broader from the Minister of Finance, Christos Stychouris. We also launched our 2022 Global Principles of Innovation and Competitiveness that we've all co-created in the GFCC, and had a very, we think in the GFCC, moving ceremony of awarding Global Competitiveness Awards to Christos Megallo, the CEO of Piraeus Bank, for his leadership in industry, and to Dr. Mishinaro Hamaguchi for his leadership in science and technology and research. We are now going to turn our attention to the global competitiveness landscape. We've talked so much yesterday and continuing today on the forces that are converging and colliding to shape what we say at the U.S. Council on Competitiveness, the next economy of innovation, the 21st century innovation economy. And we're doing all this in a rapidly changing, shifting world of turbulence and great transformation, of course, coming out of the pandemic, the geostrategic issues with Ukraine and Russia, but also, very importantly, the world coming together as they just did in Cairo around COP27 to address what we need to do for these grand global challenges of climate and resiliency. We are going to be addressing this afternoon many of the subsets of challenges that we must integrate into competitive strategy, from how to build innovation capacity nationally, within regions of countries, regions geographically, how we invest in talent, in people, the skills of the future, how we build sustainability, not just in the environment and climate, although that's at the top of the list, but sustainability in our communities, our societies, resiliency, and then the partnerships that are critical to carry these imperatives forward in a way that's inclusive, that recognizes diversity, and includes all members of our societies. I'll just share with you that at the U.S. Council on Competitiveness, we have a mantra now to increase 10x the number of innovations, the speed of innovations, and the number of innovators that are contributing to creating that future. And that's what we're going to be doing here over the next day and tomorrow, and working together and understanding not just the challenges, but what's the action agenda of what we can do together to advance this through the GFCC. So with that, let me turn it back to our next speaker, who will come to the podium. I know we're going to have a very, very exciting presentation. I'll just give you a preview from a member of the Council on Competitiveness in the United States on our executive committee. Some of you know Jim Clifton, the chairman of Gallup, and Chad Holliday, our chairman of the GFCC. They will have a discussion, but stay tuned, because Jim Clifton will really make you think differently about our world today and where the world's going. Roberto, I think you're going to come up first and give us a little more information, and then we'll move into the rest of the program. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We are in the afternoon and we have a presentation. I have a very short presentation. This is my second time in Athens. And I went jogging the other day, but I missed the marathon. But I was really jogging and feeling the energy in the city. And at the same time thinking about this amazing city and the heritage that we have here, the social intellectual capital, and feeling the energy coming out of the marathon, the energy of this new global event, because the marathon has been on the rise, and thinking about transformation. How could we couple those assets and we have in Athens and what we historically had in Athens with this upbeat feeling of the marathon, and thinking about the future. And the future is the first topic for our Global Innovation Summit 2022. In 2021, we launched Frame the Future, an agenda to advance 5 drivers through competitiveness agendas: innovation, sustainability, inclusiveness, resilience, and partnership. These are 5 drivers for the future economy. And you will see a variety of sessions, as Deborah has said, addressing those drivers here today. The other key overarching theme under which we are organizing the summit is place. We all know that place matters. That became even more relevant during the pandemic. A place like this matters. How can we better use the assets that we have on hand? How can we build the future leveraging those assets? But that can only happen if we think about society. We talked in the morning today about trust. Societies can only endeavor into the future if they are able to build consensus and to drive change for those connections across sectors. Future, place, and society. Those are 3 key themes under which we'll be organizing the sessions that you will be part of today. There are 4 types of sessions that we're using to organize the Global Innovation Summit. Panel conversations, leadership perspectives. We will have sessions with the senior political leadership in Greece. Those are our leadership perspectives. Innovation spotlights, highlighting some key future technologies. And finally, global spotlights, highlighting some of the key issues in the globe today and that are informing and shaping our trajectory into the future. If you want to know more about the agenda, and I think you all had a chance to have a general understanding about that, you can check our event book. How can you do that? If you point your mobile phones to this code, you'll be taken there. You can also use the flyer on the tables, and you can point your mobile phones to the QR code on those flyers, and you'll be taken to this book. But let me just share a bit about what we're having and seeing today. We are getting started soon with a discussion involving the chairman of Gallup Group, Jean, and our chairman in the GFCC, Chad Holliday, having a look on the globe. What's the state of the globe today, and what are some of the key things that are shaping the competitiveness environment? GFCC President Deborah Winston-Smith will then talk about some of the priorities for competitiveness in the future in a session with our GFCC board members. We will have lunch being served here. It's a short break, 45 minutes, and we have a series of sessions combining the future dimensions that we are exploring, starting with sustainability, with strong focus today, talking about place-based innovation, one of the key sessions that we will have in this afternoon, and also a series of innovation spotlights. We'll see things, for instance, about the future of longevity. Haya Al-Saud from the Evolution Foundation, the leading organization in the world today, investing to expand longevity, will be here in a conversation with Yusuf from Malaysia, from MITE Malaysia. Tonight, we're having our gala dinner. We will continue tomorrow for a series of sessions. But the agenda doesn't stop here. I just want to share with our colleagues from around the globe and also our colleagues from Greece that on the 17th, we're going to Ioannina. We're having a workshop there. And the theme for that workshop will be place-based innovation. We heard here yesterday night and also today about some of the transformations that are happening in this country, but they're also happening in several regions of this country. One of our GFCC members, Piraeus Bank, it's investing in Ioannina, it's driving its digital bank in Ioannina. We're delighted to have you, George, our board member and chair of the board at Piraeus Bank. We had Christos Megalou this morning receiving the Global Competitiveness Award. So we go there, we check on the ground what's happening in that place. On the 18th, we will stay there. We go to the University of Ioannina, to the tech park, and we talk about partnerships, how industry, university, government, society can work together. The GFCC, it's a global multi-stakeholder organization. This means that we have members coming from all sectors, universities, government, private sector, entities, and business. We check what's being done there, but also create an opportunity for all of you to share your experiences, to share best practices with colleagues in Ioannina. This is very much what we do in the GFCC. We create opportunities for knowledge sharing, for people to share best practices. We launched this morning, as Deborah said, the Global Competitiveness Principles. If you were not at the Academy of Athens, I really invite you to check them out. We have 10 principles that are mapped to the Sustainable Development Goals, and they provide guidelines about the implementation of competitiveness strategies. We are also releasing during the summit a call to action for place-based innovation. This is something that comes out of the experience of the GFCC working with all of you throughout the years. We have systematized some of the learnings, some of the insights, and we have 10 practical recommendations to advance place-based innovation. I invite you to check that out. I invite you to share that content in your networks. How can you do that? Again, if you point your mobile phones to that code, you'll be taken to a site where you can find those materials. We are tweeting about this event, DGFCC. It's our Twitter handle. This is the hashtag that we are using. We are delighted to have you here today, and let me tell you a very short story. I said it was my second time in Athens. I come from a small town in Brazil, in the very south of Brazil, a place that used to be one of the richest parts of Brazil, and today is one of the most economically depressed places in Brazil. But the last time when I went there were signs of change, because a new university was built in that city not long ago. The first graduates are creating new companies in the city outside of traditional industries for the first time ever in generations. Change is happening, like in Athens, where you can see the energy, the beat of the city, but also it's happening in several places around the globe. We'll have a chance to talk about that today and tomorrow. And to continue our summit, it's my pleasure to invite Chad Holliday, our chairman, and the chairman of Gallup Group, Jim Clifton, to come on stage and continue the conversation. Thank you.